Hello, my name is Margaret Brownson. Please hear my story. I'm 74 years old. I live in Portland, Oregon. For more than half a century, my world revolved around one man, my husband, Harold. We met when I was 20, married by 22, and built a life so intertwined that I could hardly imagine a single day without him. 2 years ago. He was my partner for more than 50 years, my best friend, my anchor, my protector. When he passed away, I thought the hardest part would be saying goodbye. But I soon learned the real heartbreak was still ahead. A week after the funeral, my children and I sat in the lawyer's office for the reading of the will. When the lawyer said, "Margaret, the house is yours," my chest loosened for the first time in days. That old brick house wasn't just a building. It was our life, where we raised our children, celebrated birthdays, and even argued over paint colors. It was love, history, and comfort all under one roof. Living alone after decades of marriage was strange. I filled my days with gardening, baking pies for the neighbors, and knitting by the fire. But every creak in the floorboards and every shadow in the hallway whispered Harold's absence. Then one rainy morning, I found a thick envelope in the mailbox. It was addressed to Harold. Stamped urgent. Curiosity turned into shock when I opened it. Inside was a mortgage statement showing over $40,000 still owed. I froze. The house was paid off decades ago, at least that's what I thought. I called the bank immediately. The woman on the line spoke with careful pauses. "Mrs. Brownson, the mortgage is under Harold's name. And there's a cosigner. My voice shook. Who? A woman named Linda Carson. I had never heard that name in my life. The next day, I drove through sheets of rain to the bank. The manager couldn't tell me much. Privacy laws, he said, but one kind teller leaned in and whispered, "This cosigner, she's been paying half the mortgage every month for years. Why would another woman be paying for my home?" It didn't take long to find her. Linda Carson lived in a small, weathered blue house on the edge of town. When she opened the door, she didn't look surprised. In fact, she looked almost relieved. "You must be Margaret," she said softly. "I was wondering when you'd come, over steaming cups of tea." Linda told me everything. She and Harold had been business partners decades ago. One of their biggest investments collapsed, leaving Harold with a choice: sell the house or take on a massive loan. Linda co-signed so we could keep our home. In return, Harold promised her that when he passed, the house would be sold to repay what she had put in. He never told me. Not because he didn't love me, but because he didn't want me to worry. Still, it meant the house wasn't truly mine. If I stayed, I would have to buy out Linda's share, money I didn't have. I cried for days. Not because of Linda, she was kind, and even offered to give me time, but because the place I thought was my safe haven was just another debt. In the end, I sold the house. On my last day there, I walked through each room slowly. The living room still smelled faintly of Harold's aftershave. The kitchen counters held tiny knife marks from decades of shared meals in our bedroom. The sunlight fell exactly where it had the morning we brought our first child home. I took only what I couldn't leave behind: Harold's chair, our wedding photograph, the quilt we stitched together during a long winter storm. Now I live in a sunny little apartment near my sister. It's smaller, quieter, but in a strange way, lighter. I've learned that security doesn't come from walls or a roof. It comes from knowing the truth, no matter how much it hurts. And while Harold's secret broke my heart, I believe he truly did the best he could with the time he had. To anyone listening, don't wait to have the hard conversations. Ask the questions, even if you're afraid of the answers. Love isn't just protecting someone from pain, it's trusting them with the truth.